Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It is August, I don't know, something 18th, August 18th, and a beautiful day because we're all here together and getting trained up and educated as to what this whole relive thing is all about. I am Lauren Laird, and I'm here with my handsome husband, Robert, and we are excited to take you through this journey of how we can all build our businesses. So start thinking about things that are exciting that happened in your business this week. But first, we'll just briefly share our stories. And everybody press mute. It sounds like there's a little bit of background noise. Perfect. Sounds like that got muted. So, Robert, will you start out by sharing our stories?
Yeah, we are Robert and Lauren Laird, and we're down here in a cloudy Garden Grove, California this morning, kind of surprising. And really came into our lives 10 years ago. It was after my mom had had a massive stroke, and she'd had a decent recovery, but just didn't have energy and didn't have control of the left side of her body. But we were very thankful that she still had her personality and sense of humor, most importantly. And just kind of felt that we'd gotten as good as it was going to get, and that was something to be thankful for. And somebody from her church called her up and said, hey, try this stuff. It might help you. And she did, and it did. And within 3 days, she was starting to get more energy, and as the months went by, she really regained control of her life and was able to live again. And then my dad started taking the products as well, and he was really what caught my eye because I'd seen all of my life that he'd had hip and back pain because of a disease he had as a kid. And he got on these products and within 6 weeks was pain-free. And that just blew my mind because I had watched the doctors tell him that he was going to have pain forever and pain management was going to be his life. And when I saw that, I saw a business opportunity. So I hopped in at that top profit level as a master affiliate. And really that was the goal was to start building a business for gas money. And I was hoping, I thought it'd be great if I could make $50 extra a month. And lo and behold, the first week of the business, we made $50 and we got started, and it was fantastic. We've continued to get paid every month since then for the last 10 years, making as much as $4,000 in a calendar month. We've earned a couple of bonuses, we've earned a few trips, and we've absolutely loved what the business has done for us. The unexpected surprise for me was how well the products would work. Because I figured I was healthy and this would just be something that would prevent things from happening in the future. But it turns out with healthy people, you get even better. And so as I took the products, after about 8 months, I realized my allergies were going away. And then a little bit after that, I realized an old soccer injury that just really bothered me with my knee when it was rainy or cold or air conditioning or switching around, stuff like that. That would hurt pretty bad, and I haven't had knee pain. I can't remember the last time. So we've absolutely loved what the products have done, and the business, what it's done, and I'll let Lauren share what they've done for her.
Well, yeah. Robert and I were just dating when Relive came into his life, and I kind of had the same idea that I'm young and I'm healthy. I don't really need this stuff. But I kept hearing these stories, and I had heard the word prevention, and that made sense to me because my dad had a stroke and Robert's mom had a stroke. So doing what I could do now to, hopefully avoid all those things happening in our future just kind of made sense. So taking Relive consistently, just noticed more energy, stronger immune system, not dealing with muscle soreness and fatigue at my job. I work at Disneyland in entertainment, so I'm dancing down Main Street and jumping all over the place. And even in this heat, just have the energy and stamina to keep going. So I am thankful for that, just to know that, we just get better and better. And Fit 3 came along. And this Fit 3 journey has just been incredible for us. I thought, maybe I've got a couple pounds to lose, and I was able to lose those pounds. But really what I gained was confidence and a love for the fit lifestyle that I just never saw coming. So we are just thankful for Relive, and we'll keep going with this.
So here we're at Business Success Training on Saturday morning, and I was just thinking as we were telling our stories and listening to Lauren tell her story, is when we're in business success training and we're building our Relive business, we are in the business of helping people create their own Relive story and build their own Relive story. And I just think if my parents or somebody hadn't brought Relive up to my parents, our story would be something very different. It would be 10 years ago, I was driving 100 miles, and I still am. And you start thinking about this. I mean, I probably wouldn't still be driving 100 miles every time I see Lauren, but there just wouldn't be that same path forward that we would have had and the results that we've had. And that's really a blessing. And so as we're going through business training this morning, be thinking about whose story can you help? Because that's really what it's all about. And that's what makes this thing so exciting. And that's where we get into this week's successes. And I'd love if you people would hop on the line and share some of their successes for the week and what's going on in your business.
Robert, can you hear me?
I can.
This is Lou Ann. Hi. It's interesting what you say because this is so true. It is a people business. It is helping people. It is helping people to get their results, and real results make a story. And so, I had my friend call me, and the stepson has had all of these sores, they severe all over his body for years, to the point that there's no skin left on the feet, makes him on the bottoms of his feet. That makes it really hard for him to walk. Started on Relive a little bit. He wasn't consistent, and so they moved closer to him and helped him to become consistent with the Relive products, and everything is cleared up. There's still the lack of skin on the bottom of his feet, which we are working on. But interestingly enough, every doctor he went to, no one had any answers for him. And it was such severe skin issues. She said his face looked like an acne, and this was all over, his body. And it was very painful. And what they found out after going to UC Berkeley was that, and now he's cleared up, but they found that his body is low in zinc. So, they're pursuing that to get that kind of corrected. But, we know that we have products that balance that zinc also. So, she's just very excited that this has happened. And then I got a call from my other friend whose daughter has had Epstein-Barr and in bed for a year. And thanks to Relive, she's been driving to California to speak at a conference and, out of bed, and she had a skin rash. They said it almost looked like ringworm, and $300 prescriptions dermatologists wanted to give her, and with Relive, it's all cleared up. And not only did she use it inside and heal from the inside, but also, they open those capsules and put on the skin also. But, my friend said just what you said. Her husband's been taking some Relive and not a lot. And she said her daughter has the story. Well, so I connected her to a man who had a similar incident as her husband has had. And so, we can all get our stories. Relive delivers results, products. If you want a great business, you have products that deliver results. And Relive always delivers results with the products. And so that's what helps our business to grow. So that's my little thing for today.
Wow. Relive truly never fails. That's awesome. Consistency will produce results. Awesome. Thank you, Luann. You are just amazing. I appreciate you always have something fun to share, which means that you're constantly helping people, and that's a great thing. Anybody else? I can share. I had a couple of really great conversations this week. A gal that we have passed on our way to go work out that we've built a relationship with. She works in custodial and was teaching people how to use and change out a new soap dispenser that they might be using in the resort. And so just building that relationship, I actually found out that she had a knee injury, and that's why she was sitting down and teaching people that. So I was able to share with her and get her a presentation, so she's excited. I love the convenience of those webinars and just oh, you're not able to meet up in person, or your schedule's too crazy, or this or that, you live far away. Well, hey, do you have 30 minutes to watch this presentation? Let's connect afterwards and see what you thought. And actually, that happened with another gal. I honestly prayed to God. I just said, I was kind of in a little funk and just said, Lord, just deliver me. I just want to meet somebody new, and if I'm able to share Relive, that would be amazing. And that's exactly what happened. Like, I prayed for it, and God provided. And she was a newer character host that I was working with, and from England, super awesome gal, and I was just able to say, my husband and I have this business, and I just your personality, like everything about you, I just feel like this is something that you would benefit learning about. And she was like, oh, wow, yeah, absolutely. So got her a presentation too, and she's excited. So just looking forward to seeing where those situations go, as well as a couple other fun conversations this week.
Lauren, can you hear me?
I sure can.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? I apologize.
No, you didn't. I was finishing up.
Okay. Well, this is Louise.
No, really?
Well, I was feeling, and when you said you prayed about it, it prompted me because in the last month we've had some issues here in the house, and I don't know if a lot of you know, but my husband collapsed, and anyway, all of it to say that it turns out he wasn't taking enough Relive, and I thanked him for being alive but making me right. Okay, so there you go. You don't take enough Relive, you're not going to get results. Anyway, but things are coming along, but as a result of that, the month sort of just didn't, volume-wise it was great, but, I didn't make the steps I wanted to, so I was feeling I was making myself crazy that way. And I just prayed for calm and peace and, that everything would happen just sort of organically. So what happens is I'm at Zumba and I am wearing the old team challenge when there was just, two team. Anyway, I'm wearing this T-shirt. Nobody has ever, whenever I wear Relive gear, I don't know, maybe it's just my face or something, but nobody's ever asked me, ever, about what's Relive, ever. It doesn't matter what shirt I'm wearing. But I'm wearing this shirt in Zumba, and the gal likes the colors, and the colors fit those colors are awesome. Black with all those wonderful bright colors. Anyway, she said, well, what is that? And I said, oh, it's a company I work with, and she's from the Philippines. Anyway, and she said, oh, what is it about? Anyway, I told her very briefly. I said, I work with a company that has products that change people's lives. And she said, wow, is it international? And I went, yeah, as a matter of fact, we have this foundation, blah, 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 blah. I told her about Calagos Foundation, the Smoky Mountains, everything. She looked at me, she goes, thank you. Do you have a card, da-da-da-da, and we got hooked up. Okay, now I'm falling in love with this app because I'm like, I can send you anything I want from the app. And it's exciting because she was so appreciative of Relive for what they do, their foundation, and helping the children in the Philippines. Around here, there's lots and lots of Filipinos, lots, especially because we're a Navy town. And and their appreciation, they always are sending stuff home. They're always connected. It's a very tight community, and it's so exciting. And I was so proud to be affiliated with this amazing company that they're doing their thing, but these people are so appreciative. And she doesn't know anybody in Smoky Mountain. She doesn't know anybody, and she does, but she doesn't know those children. But she's so appreciative that we do it over and over and over again. I was really proud. So I'm hoping, it's a big hope, but I just love the fact that my prayer was answered, that I could just naturally share, just because I'm there doing my thing, you know?
Wow.
Anyway, I felt like I'd
Wow.
broken through this cloud that it's like, oh, Lord, where have you been? Well, guess what? Nowhere. I was somewhere. He's there all the time. Anyway, thanks for letting me share.
Louise, that blessed me this morning. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so excited.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
This is Sandy Sopko in Arizona. I had something that was really. Hi, thank you for hosting. I was at one of my usual networking, and I always give away the Energize and really promote hydration, and that it is a patented product and very proud of it. And someone called me and said, my husband is going through the ALS with Lewy body. He has to drink 30 glasses of water a day. He's severely dehydrated. It compromises him. We can't find anything. Gatorade, none of that is working, but what got my attention, as you said, it was patented, and I've known you long enough that I thought this might be the answer. She got the Energized Orange and Lemon to be first, so in 2 days, the life changes that happened to this man, not that we're curing Lewy body, but it gave a quality of life and the stress she's going through trying to take care of her husband. We were in a group of people that are all connected with Alzheimer's fundraisers, different things. And from that, I probably had about 3 different people, one for speaking at a church, somebody else with Huntington's, but they all got it. And somebody working with the cannabis, the marijuana, wants to meet up. I mean, it's amazing when you get a testimonial in front of a group of life changes that people come to you and say, I need to know more.
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations. You are another one, Sandy. You are always out there. You are present. You are visible, and you are excited, and you know what we have. And I love that. I don't want to say that like Energize, it's every single product is an amazing, amazing product, but I feel like everybody focuses on other products other than Energize. And the fact that you're building a business and excitement off of hydration, like that's, I applaud you, so congratulations.
All right. Well, let's move on into some of the training for the morning. And if you want to continue conversations in the chat, I definitely encourage that. I've got my eye on that on our second screen on the right. So let's move on into this, if it'll let me. There we go. We thought very briefly we talked about the power of promotion, and that comes just because we know we have Relive Live in Orlando coming up in about a month and a half, and we've got Tom Pennick going to be out here on September 7th and 8th. So if you're in the area, be at the Embassy Suites on the evening of the 7th on Harbor Boulevard in Anaheim, and if you're still around on the 8th, you can come over to our house, and we're going to have a breakfast, brunch, and potluck thing, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But what we do really is a lot of promotion and sharing what we have and what we're excited about. When you hear these stories, I just find it incredibly hard to not be excited. We could just do training all morning on stories and we'd be great. So as we're promoting, there's a few tips that I'm going to give you 3 things to be thinking about very quickly. And the first one is everything you promote, make sure you're sharing great info. There's kind of a benchmark of you want to create content and share content that informs, that excites, and it empowers. If it does one of those 3 things, you've probably got good content that you're sharing. And this isn't just social media. This could be, I know people that write letters, and I think that's a fantastic thing to do because there's very few things that are more personal than when you write letters. It could be when you make a phone call. It could be talking at marketing groups. All of these things are fine. But make sure you're creating content that's remembering it's informing, it's exciting, and it's empowering. Because when you do those things, it's building people up and getting things exciting. Consider the purpose for each communication. When you're reaching out to people or when you're sharing things on, maybe it's Facebook, really be thinking of the question, what are you trying to communicate with each point of contact and why? Don't just kind of blanket blah, blah, blah. Be really thinking intentionally, like especially if you're doing some sort of intentional promotion, what's the thing I'm trying to communicate and why am I doing it? Because then it provides a purpose to that communication and it'll actually help you hone in on what you're trying to do exactly. The benefits of that is it proactively bolsters your personal brand because you're out there. It also plants seeds for future questions and conversations. So much of what we do as Relive distributors, we say something or we do something that may not be a huge deal to us, and then it comes back around and people were watching or listening or whatever it is, and I hear it on our Tuesday nights and our local trains all the time of like, oh, I saw you were doing this thing and I was wondering what it was. Or Christina and Lauren work out in the break room or wherever it is you guys work out. And so they see these things happening and then they hear these conversations and they plant seeds that eventually grow. But it also sets you up as an expert in your field. We really want to be building up a level of trust with people because they're really, as they come on into Relive, they're really trusting us to help them make their own lives better. And we're not saying that we are going to make their lives better, but we are going to help empower them to make their lives better, and that's a very exciting thing to do. Christina says in the chat that sharing about her trips are always fun, and people always ask, how can you afford to take these trips? Why are you going? And that's exactly it. That's one way to share great info, because what is better than sharing about going to Cancun or to Jamaica? Remember, that was a huge trip for us, and that's something that's something you can be proactive about, even if it's just sharing a really fun picture. You want to proactively engage with people. You want to make sure you're connecting with people on a daily basis, whether that's in person, on phone calls, text messages, social media, emails, the list goes on and on and on. And as you're doing that, you want to be intentional. You want to engage with people intentionally, and you want to encourage them intentionally. That's just something that as I've been watching, I get to be around a lot of really great leaders a lot. And that's one of the things I've really observed that they do very well is that they engage with people and then they encourage them. And then they also focus on them without an agenda. It literally is, I've got Christina here right in front of me. I'm going to engage and encourage her without any other agenda than how can I engage and encourage Christina. And it's amazing what Christina can do when she's getting that kind of encouragement and engagement. And it makes it more fun because she knows I care about her, and the sky's the limit then. So consider the purpose of each engagement. Why are you engaging with people? Is it for your benefit or is it for theirs? And I would just say it should always be for their benefit. Let's always be looking at the person in front of us. As Bob Montgomery likes to say, imagine it says on their forehead, I'm important. And remember that they are important, and that person in front of you is what it's all about. Benefits of that, it promotes that you are a caring person because you are. It also builds trust, and people want to be around positive, caring people. When you think about the people you just genuinely like being around, they're the people that are positive and they're caring. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're upbeat and jumping off the walls and super exciting, but they are positive. Like there's a mindset that comes with that, and they are genuinely caring about people. I think about people we have a fantastic local group down here, and I think about them, and they all embody that positive and caring thing. But then you go around the room on a Tuesday night, and you've got some people that are quieter, and their positive and caring is a gentle smile, and then you've got other people that are entertainment people that are bouncing off the walls and probably could go run a marathon after we're done, and they're the more energetic entertainer is a great example or a great word, but that doesn't mean one specific way of being positive and caring. It's just the mindset that you have and the way that you're treating people. Third thing, proactive, positive promotion. I couldn't think of a quicker way to say that, so I just combined the three words. You want to promote positive things on a daily basis. Share the things that excite and inspire you on a daily basis. How fun was it listening to these stories this morning? Like really, as I was thinking about this part of the training, I was like, this is what it's all about, is we're sharing what's exciting to us, and it amps you up. You want to share other people's successes. Share it from around your world. Like it doesn't necessarily have to just be Relive. It could be Melanie in our group has been running 5Ks once a month, and it's absolutely fantastic to watch her build confidence and get better at it each time she does it, because it just becomes easier and easier. And then you've got You've got Terry, who's doing these awesome live streams in the morning that really are just getting the day started right. And these are successes and positive things that they're promoting that's really fun to watch. You get to share in different mediums at different times. There's not a one-shoe-fits-all way to go with positive promotion. And so that could really, as we go back to this, it really all cycles in together and circles in together. It could be something like Christina talking about a trip. It could be something as simple as an Instagram photo of a pretty flower, just that, hey, look at my garden. I love my garden, whatever it is. But you want to be building up that personal brand that embodies proactive, positive promotion. And then when you pivot and use the 80-20 rule, so to that 20% of the time when you are sharing about Relive, you say, hey, we got Tom Pinnock coming, they're going to think about all the other things that are going on in your lives. And they're going to be like, oh, well, that stuff's great. This must be great too. I want to learn more about that. So as we move forward, consider the purpose of each promotion. Are you just hyping something up, or are you genuinely excited about it? As you're considering what you're going to promote every day, be thinking, first question you should be asking is, what am I excited about today? And that's probably the first thing that comes into your mind. That's what you should promote. If you're excited that you just mowed your lawn, say it. Like it's literally as something as that, because the genuine factor that comes with that, people can see, and that's going to get exciting for them. The benefits of that is excitement and momentum builds. When you have excitement and you share that excitement, other people get excited. Same with the momentum, and that just starts getting that ball rolling, and it'll just pick up momentum as you're consistent with this. This is a thing, I was intentional where I said daily basis, and I was intentional on using the word proactive. It's something you have to choose to do every day. And sometimes you have to look a little deeper for what you're excited about. People are also going to want to join your winning team, and that's something that you can never underestimate the power of creating and being the winning team. And that's a mindset too. It's we're winning, I know where I'm going, you can come with me too. And that's just something that people love that. When we started our website, Daps Magic, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever it was, we're this little podunk, never built a website before in our lives, but we were excited about where we were going, what we could be, and what we could do. And people wanted to be a part of that, and they still do. And the same goes with our Relive business. As we build things, know where we're going and where we can go with people. People want to do that too. And then also people are going to want your positive promotion. They're going to want to be on that list of people that Luann shares about on a Saturday morning, or maybe, I don't know, anybody. Louise, maybe she's sharing about how her neighbor did something. But as people see that you're promoting things, they want to be a part of that. They love when somebody can say, hey, look at what my friend Louise did, or hey, look at what my friend Christina did. That's just something that's very fun to be a part of too, and will build into all of those other things that I said. And then it becomes this big circle of success that we're just about to plug them into, which really comes down to how do we succeed with Relive. And this is just one little tool that we can throw into our toolbox as we go into our 5 fundamentals of success with Relive. And I'll let Lauren start this next slide so I can breathe for a second.
Wow, that was great. I just have to take a second and just applaud Robert there for that little nugget of information. And he truly is an incredible leader, and everything that he has going on in his life, that is how he lives, is proactively seeking out positivity. And so, yay, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So how do we succeed with Relive? It is that circle of success, those fundamental daily steps, things that you do all the time, constantly. It's that repetitive motion of building your business. And what fuels your business? New people. New people fuel your business. So let's get into this with taking action now. Here is that circle of success. So starting with the first one is identify. Make your list. I find that for me, I mean, honestly, there's not really a whole lot going on, or not as much could be going on if you don't have that list in front of you, if you don't have that active list where you're constantly, just marking people down and making notes and seeing who's where and, who's gotten on calls and who's seen a presentation and who's had follow-up. But having that list in front of you is literally the life of your business. So that is something I highly suggest, is having that present, having that in front of you, and having that constantly changing and growing. And write down why you thought of each person. It gives you that something to say. I think that's always at least what I experience a lot, what trips people up is what do I say? Just share your excitement, and having that why of, oh my gosh, well, you mentioned this, and, I'm not sure this will be for you, but I couldn't help but mention it, and I think that it could help you, when do you have a couple minutes that I could call you? But, family, friends, work, church, social media, always find a way to add new people to that list on a daily basis.
And then the next one is connect. And this is where it gets, I think, really fun and the rubber hits the road. And you go through that list with your upline, with your mentor, whoever that is, and review 20 prospects. Easy as that. And then start asking the question, who's first? And as Lauren said, what do I say? You share excitement and why you thought of them. It's super simple. You really don't have to, it's not rocket science. I thought of you. Would you be interested in hearing this? And using their why lets them know you care. That's something that I just think is so wonderful about Relive is as you really focus on what helps other people and what motivates other people and what excites them, if you can help them do that even more, there's few better things you can do. You can use company tools to validate, and that's something there's a ton of them, whether it's the app that Louise was talking about, or the website, or social media, or you name it, we've got it, and videos. And the goal with that is to set an appointment where they really do hear all about Relive. And the one thing I would say with connecting is, as we're connecting, we don't have to do the whole presentation. Connecting is about making that connection to kind of gauge interest in some ways. It's like, hey, I've got this thing, you might be interested. Would you like to hear about it? Yes or no? And they're going to say, yeah, that sounds great. I love that you've had great results with allergies, or maybe they're interested in the business, whatever it is they're interested in. But it really is making the connection that leads to something more. And as we go through this, it's kind of always giving them the option of, are you ready to go to the next level? And that next level would be, there's some opening questions. I always forget those. But it really is, I love, how are you? There's very few better questions you can ask than how are you, because it shows you care, and you can really invest pretty far with someone if you just keep asking something simple like that, and really let them do the talking instead of me. But then it leads you from that connection to an opportunity to share the Relive story.
And he passes the phone back to me. Sure, yeah, always be ready. So sharing the Relive story, the Relive story is incredible. It's sharing that excitement. It's sharing what it is you're excited about, what it's done for you, what it's done for other people, and how it could help them. Share your why, share your belief, but more importantly, share your heart. You cannot go wrong when you share your heart. And share the whole Relive story. You might think that, oh, my friend Joe, is dealing with this or that, but you never know what's going on, behind closed doors, if they can't pay their bills, or, there's something else that they haven't mentioned that they don't want to post on social media or share with the world. But just share everything and let them choose what they want out of Relive. There's so many tools available, opportunity books, slides, relive.com/get-started, the app, obviously. I love the Positively Charged Facebook group on Facebook. A lot of the ambassadors come together and share these webinars live on Monday night, but often I will just go directly to that page, and I always remember it because I remember positive. positively charged, and they post the playback of these ambassadors sharing the presentation, and that's what I shared with my friends this week. So that's a little nugget of what I use, a tool in my toolbox.
Which, speaking of tools and toolbox, I would love to see in the chat right now what your favorite presentation form is, whether it's a Tuesday business opportunity meeting, webinar, using the app video, which is really cool. Lots of different ways that you can share the Relive story, but I would love to see in the chat just some ways that you like to share the Relive story and see a little bit of things going on there.
Yeah, but all along the way, make sure that you're not doing everything by yourself, because the Relive community, the Relive family is absolutely incredible. So make sure you introduce your upline or your sideline or your downline or whoever it is. Just keep the new person engaged with new stories and adding to those bricks in their wall of belief.
And just to add one more thing to what Lauren's saying is that she's totally right of introducing them to upline, sideline, whatever, downline. And really what I like to think of as we're doing this, and this is the importance of this, is you're helping them build their net of success. And every connection that you make is one more strand in that net. And if they only have one strand, their net's not going to hold things up very well. But if you can have 50 strands, 100 strands, just imagine what a nice net that's going to be. Then it's become almost like a hammock. And really be thinking of weaving that hammock underneath them to hold them. I'm seeing in the chat that we're loving the app. It looks like the app is the number one choice right now, and then 3-Ways coming in second, and with 3-Ways with stories from all of our wonderful quote-unquote peeps. And thank you, Louise. And that'll get a laugh, I'm sure, later when some of our team listens to that. But yeah, there's tons of different ways that you can share the stories as we go through. Tuesday night meetings is the favorite of Christina, and that's just absolutely fantastic. But the thing to remember with all of this is you don't have to know it all. In fact, I love that this is almost a business of passing the buck of like, that's a good question, let's find out. And then I'm going to call up my friend Luann, or I'm going to call up Louise or Quiler, whoever it is. All you have to do is be honest and use Relive's built-in system to educate and to validate. And that's a fantastic place to be building a business from, whether you're starting today or you've been in it for years, because that system is there and it's going to help carry it forward. Next thing you do is ask for a decision. And when you do this, be prepared to come up with what's next. Be prepared to do business. So have those products, have those tools, be ready to go. So that as they make their decision, you can empower them to act on that decision, because then it's going to mean even more to them, and they're going to be that much more excited about it. You can have a recommended order ready for each option, whether it's customer, distributor, master affiliate, and you can get them registered just about any way you can imagine, whether it's forms, the app, online, 1-800-RELIVE-US, which is always, it's one of those ones that I think we overlook a lot, but it's actually a lot of fun just because they get that first connection with corporate, and I love how they congratulate the new distributor or whatever when they're signing them up, and that's just a lot of fun too, I think.
And where do you want to get started in regards to the business? Ask questions and listen. That is such a key word, is listen. Don't come saying, oh, well, I think you should do this, or I think you should do that. Recommend the super PAC or the fit kit, personalized needs. Most often, getting started with the basic nutrition, now in Lunar Checks, or adding Energizer as well, as Sandy was sharing the incredible benefits of Energize. Keep it simple. Don't overwhelm. Sometimes I think I'm guilty of that sometimes. I try not to be, but there's so many options. But just getting straight to the point, just saying this is what's going to help you, and, which is the basic nutrition, and adding to things later if you want to is a possibility, but just getting started right now and getting those results that they're looking for. And look at ways for them to save on products. If they sign up as a preferred customer, they save 10%. And if they sign up for auto ship, they save an additional 10%. So it doesn't mean that they have to be a distributor. They can save 10 to 20%, which is completely awesome. And always ask a question, too, of them. You never know. I mean, it seems like every time somebody sees a presentation, there always is somebody that there's, oh, my gosh, my Aunt Sally could really use these products, or whoever it is, their mind is just turning with people, and make it easy for them to help their friends, because that's what's important, and that's what will change from just wanting to consume Relive to, well, you know, maybe I do have a few people that I could share with that could benefit from these products. And then in regards to the business, where would you like to get started? There's the application online or paper application. Just reviewing those options, reviewing the comp plan, and seeing how they can best save money and earn money, and see where they are in their life and what they're able to do. So getting them started on the product so that they can be a product of the product, getting that super PAC again, just seeing what they want, what's going to be best for them, and how they can best succeed in getting money in their pocket. That's what Tom says is the best way to keep a distributor in Relive is, imagine that, getting money in their pocket. So the faster you can do that, it just kind of locks them into the Relive family, and that's the goal of helping them succeed.
Then it's time to register and go. This is where it gets super exciting. They've made their decision, and now is the time to help empower them to follow through with their decision. So you really want to make sure that you're doing follow-up with consumers, and that's really to help them get the results that they're aspiring for or hoping to get. So you're helping with their product regimen, continuing to educate with stories, and you're looking to move them up. You're building that net so that that hammock can really hold them. So keep it simple. It's Did You Shake Today? Meet my friend Jim. He's going to share about how the shakes affected his life and impacted his life. Day 3, how's it going? Are you consistent? Once again, connecting them with somebody else. Day 10, what results are you seeing so far? These are great results. You gotta meet Lauren and hear the results that she's gotten with these as well. I know she's going to love hearing the results that you're getting. And it's really making sure that you're making connections and giving purpose, going back to what we were talking about with promotion, because that even applies over here, making sure there's purpose for each call beyond just a follow-up. Because as much as we're doing follow-up, we don't want that to drift into the nagging world. And so if we are making it every time something that's really benefiting them in a way that they recognize as benefiting them, or could recognize in hindsight, then we're doing our jobs really well, and we're helping build up their excitement and build up that momentum. And it's important throughout to be asking that question of who do you know that could benefit from these products or this business opportunity. It's helping expand the horizons of what Relive can do, because so often we get stuck right here in our own little world, but maybe we've got somebody that has back pain. Maybe we have somebody that needs a few extra dollars per month so that they can get new tires in a couple of months. There's lots of things, especially down here in California. It's ridiculously expensive down here. And there's so many people that are just on the cusp of getting by that just need a little bit more. And Relive can offer that and so much more. And so as we're planting those seeds, we're really helping them see Relive a little bit bigger than what they see at that moment. And remember, these are only guidelines. Use common sense. It really is. Our biggest job is to really ask questions and get to know people so that we can help them the best. As we do that, and you listen to these stories this morning, that's really what it all was about, is finding that need and helping fill it. But the only way we do that is if we become expert question askers and then expert answers listeners. And as we listen and really focus on the other people for what they need, that's really where this can get exciting. Register and go and setting distributors up for success. Also incredibly important. It's helping them get into exactly what we're doing this morning. It's helping them go through IXR of identifying, connect, sharing, and so forth. You're doing that right away, and you're asking the question, who are we going to call first, and getting the ball moving right away. And then you're going to get right into sharing the story by setting appointments. One of the things I would do is really help someone be proactive and intentional about filling their calendar up with appointments, whether it's setting aside Tuesday nights for presentation and Saturday mornings for trainings, and then going through and like, oh, I have 2 hours here. Great, I have 2 hours there too. Let's do a presentation then. Let's find someone that we can fill that slot with, and then in the process we'll be filling in other slots and sharing webinars and all of that stuff. But that's where it gets exciting for the new distributor, but it also gets exciting for us as the distributor that's been around a little bit, because we're building that momentum and we see the excitement, that little spark in their eyes as they're starting to build something great. As you're starting somebody up, review the basics of running a Relive business. At the end of the day, we are all business people, and there's a few core competencies that we need to know, whether it's ordering, registering people, navigating relive.com or your own Relive website. Make sure you know how to do that. Make sure you know how to go buy a can of Now. Make sure you know how to find the training videos. Where's the get started videos? Know those kinds of things, and if you don't, I would suggest go spend a little bit of time. I would suggest after 9 o'clock at night when it's not so good to call people, to really get to know the basics that are kind of behind the Relive forward-facing business. It's getting to know where your story is written on your website, know what's on there, and just kind of having that knowledge provides comfort for the new person. Make sure that you know about the distributor kit, relive.com/get-started, which answers my earlier tease. Know how to connect to your upline. Introduce the new person to those people that you regularly do business with, so that when you're not available, they can connect with somebody else and continue to build their business as well. And then also make sure they know how to connect with distributor services, because that's just a fantastic resource that we can be using as much or as little as we need, because that's what they're there for. And then review the Relive system. Really set them up for success, because if you go through all of this and you're taking action with new people right away, you have set this person up for success. And this person can go out and not only change the world, but also change their own world.
Here's some more tools. Just the website. Sounds like the app is the winner here. They have DVDs and CDs. No, maybe not CDs anymore. The brochures. I mean, so many things. I think we mention this every single time we do training, but relive.com/get-started is so underutilized. It's a link to people sharing every step of the way these little videos of IXAR and sharing, the first steps and answering those questions for new people and sharing and helping them get started. And that's really what's important. But there's Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all those sorts of things. Just find what works for you. Don't get too overwhelmed. Just maybe start with something basic and just make a habit of that. Your cell phone is super important.
Yeah.
Oh, the app. Robert held up his cell phone. I was like, yeah, cell phone's important. Yeah, sure. Oh, the app. Utilize the app. I mean, it really is. It's so easy to share the Relive story just by clicking a few buttons on the app. So,
well, and the other thing, just to give a pitch for the app, because it really is amazing, is I said this at Relive Live in Anaheim, is I think there's few things that can get your day more exciting than seeing the little notification pop up of so-and-so made an order or so-and-so signed up as a distributor. And that kind of thing really, it infuses a boost, or it boosts your momentum as you're going through your day. I might be in a meeting and see the little blue icon pop up on my watch, and it's just it's a boost of happiness. Yeah. So if you're not using the app, use it, because it really is one of the main future tools of Relive. Sorry, I was excited about the app. I'll keep going. Okay.
I feel like I talked about tools a lot.
Cool. So the Relive system, connect into it as much as you possibly can. The more you use of the system, the more success you're going to have. You can really set yourself and your new people up for success by connecting them with the daily activity as much as you can, connecting them with corporate support, whether it's podcasts or tools or the videos that Tom puts out, and then again, Relive Get Started. But it's really all about connecting new people to all of these things. And as we're looking forward, it's connecting them into Relive Live Orlando too. Relive Live Orlando is going to be celebrating 30 years of Relive, and I can only imagine what Tom has cooked up for this. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. I know we're beyond stoked to be able to go out there. We love going out there. And, we're going to do, I'm trying to think of exactly the way I'm going to do it, but we're going to do some fun, like, social media post pictures thing that tease that we're going out there, and just kind of make it a big fun. It's going to be a big fun homecoming that's also going to change the world, and that's something that's very exciting. And you know what? Leaders go to we used to say leaders go to conference, but now we say leaders go to Relive Live, and look for those leaders, and then look for the potential leaders, and get them to Relive Live. And I just think of what Joe Felger asked after Relive Live Anaheim and how awesome that one was. And he said, if you'd have had 10 people with you at Relive Live, imagine one, what that would have done for their lives, and then imagine two, what that would have done for your business. And be thinking about the excitement you had as we came out of Relive Live Anaheim, and be thinking, who are those 10 people that I could bring with me to Relive Live Orlando? And that might seem like a big number. It might seem like a small number. But I will say it's a doable number. And it's a goal I would be reaching for, is who can I bring with me to Relive Live Orlando? Because that's going to be an experience that we look back on and be like, do you remember? I mean, I remember the 25th anniversary like it was yesterday, and that was just one that was one for the record books, and I think this one will be too. Speaking of, there it is. So October 12th and 13th, be in Orlando. We will be there. You should be there. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And then really it's all about engaging your team. It's developing your library of stories and getting that it's sewing the threads for that hammock, whether it's upline, downline, other distributors, tools, the Relive system. Really develop that. And as you build ambassadors, that comes through building relationships. You look at any ambassador at any large Relive event, and they are connecting with everyone. It's one of the fun things to watch is really watching that network and that happy family thing happening as they reunite with different people from around the country and around the globe that they've met as ambassadors or building towards ambassadors in Relive. Make sure you're staying engaged in what's going on in Relive. It's really important to know what's going on, because that's the corporate excitement. I love when we get an email from Tom, or if we get an email from Ryan, or the podcast, or the videos from Tom Pinnock every month. These are all really great things, and Michaela is doing an absolutely fantastic job with social media. So make sure you're connecting and try something new. Like I think we've got a really great Instagram presence now, and that's just something that has been built, I think, by Michaela over the last 6 months or so. And, connect in different ways and maybe try something new and learn something new this week. And then most importantly, set goals and write them down. When you write them down on a piece of paper, you're also writing them down in your heart. And that's just something that as you write them down, it becomes real, and it goes to different places in your brain and in your heart, and it just makes it that much more real. Review the road to presidential with your organization and the people that you're working with. Stretch their thinking. It's very easy to set goals that are like, oh yeah, I can walk across the room. It's a lot harder to, oh yeah, I'm going to run a half marathon. Help them reach that next level. You don't have to, in fact, don't break them, just stretch them a little bit. Take them a little bit further than they're naturally inclined to go, because that's really where greatness can happen. Be thinking, what will it take to make key director, and how many months do you want to do that if that's one of your goals? And if you already are a key director or above, be thinking, who's that next key director that's going to show up in our organization, who we're going to help reach that goal. We've got a couple of people that we're working with for that really want to reach that, and I know they will. And it's going to be exciting, and we're going to have a huge party when they do. It's going to be a great thing, and then on to the next level. And then it comes down to the duplication game. You want to duplicate. Have fun. make it fun, like it's an intentional thing sometimes, but focusing on new people as you do all of these things, we can really change the world, and we can really get Relive where it should be on the international scope and get it to be that billion-dollar company that we all know it will be and should be sooner rather than later. But it's going to happen every time when we ask the question, who's next, and then act on that answer. So we hope you guys all have a fantastic Saturday, and more importantly, have a fantastic Relive week. Be thinking about who you're going to bring not only to your next local meeting, but who are you going to bring with you to Orlando? We look forward to seeing you in Orlando, and let's make it a fantastic week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.